All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our YouTube. We're back again today with a whole bunch of people ready to talk about some potential SCL RU starters. Joined with me, I have like a lot of people. I'm Ming549. Everyone, you can kind of introduce yourselves.
Hey, I am.
Thanks, Ampha. I'm Feen. RUPL.
I'm the chief.
Yeah, that's
No, you're
Fellyburn
Rabbit.
Heesui. We couldn't get the actual
What's
Fellyburn
that?
here because he's hiding his SCL RU manager secrets, but we have the better version. Also, Franklin's in the call, but I think he had an IRL emergency, so he had to step out for a moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
there it
left
is.
the college now.
Okay, so yeah, we're here. The whole purpose of this video is kind of just talk a little bit about kind of SCL RU this year and some of the starters who we expect to be coming back, but mostly the new people, because to be quite frank, if we look at the kind of this lineup from last year, I don't expect like basically anyone to be coming back.
Huh?
I think
Huh?
I
What
think
do you mean,
Franklin's
bro?
Franklin's gonna come
Franklin's
back.
coming back.
I think Rob
Yeah.
is coming back, and then I think that's it.
Yeah, most likely.
Because as of
Um,
this point, Lime, who was second best record, RU mainstay, he's pretty busy and has expressed that he's not signing up for the tour. If he is, obviously he's an inclusion. Look at his record, pristine. But yeah, if he doesn't, then he doesn't.
I'm pretty sure Fogbound Lake will be playing RU because he also got retained.
He may not be playing RU though.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
mean,
I don't think
have you
so.
seen the state of the pool? I'm also like 90% sure McMeghan's gonna play RU.
Wasn't
McMeghan, that's a
Roro?
random ass
Is
pull.
he
Why do you
not
think
playing
McMeghan is
any?
playing RU?
Is
Let's
Roro
just say
not
I have some
playing
insider information. So
Okay, insider trading fiend telling us McMeghan's playing. Okay, I mean that's interesting to know. This is the first I'm hearing of that. Rabbit, Ampha, have you? Are you hiding any secrets?
No, no,
I
I'm
thought he would
just
play
a
NU though,
secret.
because he played NU last time. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean,
I
yeah,
guess
I'm
he
he
played
wants.
NU
like, look at
last
that,
time,
bro.
but
He
like
won
it's
seven
it's
three in
it's
NU, bro. Like, what are we doing?
it's McMeghan, bro. It's McMeghan. He can
I mean,
touch
he
anything and it
basically.
will turn gold.
I do know that Roro will do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to play
Exactly.
RU, he. I
Yeah.
mean, it won't be
He
surprising to me.
also played Oreo in I think it was Sword and Shield or something.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
SEL
he
one
did
or
play
SEL two is something I've definitely seen McMeghan's name in an RU pool before. It's just,
Yeah, he played.
dude. I mean,
He
he won
played.
7-3. He won 7-3, and he won the tour. So like,
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, it depends on what he wants to do. If he wants to play NU, he'll play NU. If he wants to play RU, he will play RU. It's like he's it just depends on what his mood is basically before the tour. Like, and he will take a look at the list of mons and think, okay, what's underexplored. The thing is that if because he's looking for like just random challenges, right? That's basically why he signs up for SCL, not to like prove himself. He already done
Yeah,
that.
I mean he's already proven
Yeah.
himself
The
yeah,
thing is, he could
like
even be
many
playing
years
like
ago.
he could play UU, he could play PU, like anything between UU to PU. I could easily see him play depending on what he feels like could be good. Um, and on how much he can explore the depths of the tier. So it's like if he does, cool. My money, I think actually, if anything though, it may also just depend on the Dynamos, like what their internal drafts are. But and if he plays RU, cool. I mean, we'll see him again.
I mean, it'll be nice to see a big name in RU again. I mean, it's not like last year was lacking in big names, but McMeghan is certainly one of the all timers. So would be very fun to see
Well,
him
well,
again.
like a rabbit, check your DMs. Now you know the insider information.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So he's playing RU. Cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
very cool. Okay, so let's throw McMeghan in that pool then. So we have in that case we have McMeghan as a lock for he got retained, right? He is a dynamo for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
Okay.
a
he got
dynamo.
it. Yeah.
For sure.
So McMeghan for the Dynamos. I don't think Fog would play RU again. I mean, I don't know. 5-3 is not a bad record, but like I don't know. I feel like he has better things to be doing than playing RU.
It
Uh,
Well, if
depends
you look
again.
at the RU pool, it kind of makes sense why. Like, first of all, he got retained, and so
okay, see,
I highly believe
I
he'll
don't
play
think that
RU.
really matters as much because it's like he got retained with mind gaming. I think they're just like the package deal. Like if you're gonna retain one, you're gonna retain the other.
The thing is, it's
Yeah,
just
sure. But it's a good
Mind
deal, and he did RU last time, so.
Mind Gaming did play. So I teamed up. He didn't even like. So one thing about Mind Gaming, I don't know if he played a lot of lower tier PLs, but he definitely did play NUPL because I was on it. We were both on his team actually.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So he may play SV and U. I don't know. Like again,
I
these
think
guys
Mind Game is gonna NU. Yeah, I agree with that.
they're enigmas a little
Well,
bit.
he
Like I mean, he
he
played
like
EU last time.
struggled with SVRNU. Like I think he lost
Did
the
he?
first 2 weeks. Then he got. Or wait, no.
I mean, he played tiebreak like finals tiebreak and won that game. So I mean,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was like the only game
Yeah.
of SVNU he like because I'm pretty sure he lost the
Uh,
first 2 weeks.
uh,
Then
let
him
me ask
him
you
and
one
Fog
thing.
struggled to start. Then they got moved into the
What?
old gens. And then other like I think me and Toother got thrown in. And that was like our
Asking
SV
something
core.
around, was it Fogbound or my gaming who lost to Metallica in 9-0? I remember the game was like 4 turns long because he just got bodied by Hariyama.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's too long ago. I don't know. I don't know what that
yeah,
is.
I think
don't
I
remember.
remember, but I don't remember exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we're talking like months ago at this point. This is way past my memory.
Who are the Fogba,
Okay.
like who are the Shogun's managers actually? That would also give us a clue.
It
The
is
Shogun's
Lex,
managers
Lex,
are
Giannis, and
Alex
Ima.
yeah.
and Aima.
Actually, that's a good
Yeah.
point. Let me pull up those.
So knowing Lax, it's going to be most likely Fogbound.
Yeah.
Or they can get someone, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, so these are the managers this year, by the way. Congratulations to all of these. We have Dugza returning. I don't. He was he the Spartans guy last year? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
last
was
he's
year.
so
Spartans.
Doug is
Was
returning for the
Spartans is just
Spartans.
cursed.
Cool.
All I can say is Spartans are cursed in this
Yeah.
deal.
Breakers are under some new management. It looks like Mata, Elodin, and Stories. I don't think a single one of them were. Yeah, it was Omag and Z last year. Um,
Elodin was
Elodie
a
probably
flyer
managed
last
some
year.
tour. Like some like he's been. I feel like he's been here for like 10 or 15 years, like minimum. So he's probably managed some tour, like not SCL or Snake or anything, but probably maybe SPL. I don't know. I may be
maybe.
mistaken, but that guy's been like around for 15 years, so it won't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Then the Indigo Platoon, another set of like I think brand new faces: Lunar, Kingler, and Quinn. Uh,
Mhm.
I think
oh,
Lunar
actually no,
was
Lunar managed this
happy.
last year. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Lunar
they
Yeah,
do have
Lunar
that.
managed last year.
Silver Foxes, they have returning managers. Umbri, Gondra, XRN. Last year it was just Gondra and Punny.
I mean
Everyone's
they
familiar with this group of people. They're like, yeah,
Umbri and Zern managed
Umbri was
SPL.
helping actually the terrors last year. I can
Yeah,
confirm.
Umbri was in terrorist, I think. Or she didn't play. Did
She
she play
didn't
last
play,
year?
but she was helping Lisa.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
She
sense.
managed SPL also with I feel like it's with Zern, but I may be mistaken. With definitely with
Did you
Gondra though.
just call him Zern?
Yes, Zern. How else you?
It's XRN. Just say XRN, bro. Zern is just cursed.
Islanders, another brand new set of faces. Dave, Larry picks.
What do you
That's
mean
not
there are new faces?
that's not
David,
new,
Dave
bro.
and Larry are
Yeah,
like
They
they
Compared
managed
to
this year
last
always
year,
recently.
bro. Compared to last
they
Yeah,
year,
from
Clean and
last
always
year,
PDT.
but
There's no
bro.
Terry.
Last year, okay. Last year was the exception. Usually it's always Dave and Larry, and now Pix joined in.
Well,
Last
not
year was
last year.
Clean and he who
I
shall not be
Yeah, I
named.
literally
I
just said this. It was Clean and
also
PDT. I literally just
uh,
said
It
uh,
this.
wasn't PDT though. It wasn't PDT.
Yeah,
also
before it was banned user,
just
but then they
mentioning
did the whole Kiram scandal, and then they got banned, and then PDT is like,
Account
I
ID, yeah.
I'm
I
managing now.
also think Pix might have managed with Dave
It
before on the
in Snake in
Islanders.
SCL2, Pix managed with Dave, and then I
Yeah.
think in SCL
SCL3 also
three.
he also managed. He also managed it in SCL3 if I remember
No,
correctly.
no, that was Larry that or Larue because Pix managed with I think Hayburner, so they like
Yes.
switched
They
teams.
managed the Spartans in
Yeah,
SCL3.
they
That's what
managed the
I'm saying.
Spartans, but I mean, yeah, it's they've managed quite a bit before.
Yeah.
All right, XCal is coming back to defend his crown for I think like the third year in a row or something. He's winning now.
No, he won
There,
SCL2 and
it was
SCL4,
two. Yeah.
so
He won 2 and 4. So trying to defend his crown. Go for the third one, pull off a hat trick. That's cool. Um,
Not really, but yeah. And it's not really a hat trick if it's not consecutive.
It's not a hat trick is just 3. You just get 3. That's a hat trick. Doesn't have to be 3 in
Okay,
a row.
sure. It has to be 3 in a row,
Shoguns,
but okay.
I think also under new management. Who would they have last year? It was
No,
Lax
it's
and
not.
Blunder.
Lax is
There was
returning.
Lax and
Okay, so
Blunder. This
Lax
time it's
is
Lax,
the same.
Ima, and
Blunder is not there. Right. And then you have Ima and Giannis as his other co-managers.
Yeah, Giannis also managed SPL. I think no, Ima didn't. Yeah, but Giannis managed SPL. I think with OB.
All I can say about the Shoguns is that they have essentially the same amount of people for like the last 3 years now. SCL 3 was Ima and Vert, but Giannis was basically a shadow manager for us. And
Yeah.
and last year was Lax and Blunder. So yeah, they're essentially under the same group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Blunder also signed up to play, so I won't be surprised if they go
He
all in
deleted
on
his
Blunder.
sign up.
Oh, they
He's
are
no longer.
100% going for Blunder.
He deleted it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
no
let me
longer
know.
signing up to play.
Guess Blunder is shadow managing them.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Or
yeah,
just
he's
busy.
gonna be in the
You got
circuit.
Studio Gibble next. This is the RU group. You have Feliburn and Ajna coming back. Has Ajna ever
Feliburn
managed
managed
an SCL
one.
or a Snake? I want to say no.
Feliburn
I
managed
think
SPL one.
he managed,
Oops.
but
Did he manage SCL 1? I don't
Yes, with
remember.
Lily.
Oh, okay.
Feliburn managed the technical machines with Lily in SCL one.
What about
Oh.
Ajna? I don't think he's ever managed.
Ajna never did. Excel never did, as far as I know, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
Feliburn
know
is
Excel
he's up
played
there with his
a
blood
lot,
brother.
but
This is
Yeah,
also
I was surprised that these guys actually signed up.
this is part of the reason why the SCL RU pool is actually kind of empty, because like we were expecting
Yeah.
Feliburn to be another RU guy, and then also Ajna said, well, at least Feliburn was saying that Ajna would sign up this year, but they are both managing
Yeah.
now, so that
Yeah, that's
that
interesting.
can't happen. They can't play at the same time, so that's interesting.
Yo. How much money do you want to bet that these guys will have lighthouses for RU? How much?
Yeah, I don't know.
cool.
Diogo doesn't
They-
play SP,
Peli
but like
Ajna, they will have lighthouses for RU.
So what?
They will draft lighthouses for the RU slot. That's
Oh,
my bet.
No, I
That's
don't
I mean,
think.
I'd say
let's
low, but
start.
I mean he just doesn't play SV. Like I haven't seen Diogo play
Have
any.
you seen him? Have you seen him in RUPL?
No, I
Yeah,
think
he was on my team, and so
I don't think
I
they. I think honestly they draft a non-mainer. This is the team that drafts a non-mainer for sure.
That could be the case as well.
Uh,
Let's see.
He played best of
Uh,
three, so that's how he played SV.
yeah, exactly. And what was his record?
went 2 and
Best
3.
of three? 2 and 3. Well, okay, he won 2 weeks, I think, first 2 weeks, and then they stopped giving a shit because they were
Yeah.
the payloaders.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like a pretty out there poll, but I mean, I guess it's non-zero chances. Technical machines. Expulso coming back, running it back, and then he has Hex and PU, which
PU was playing for them and went like
yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm
10-0, yeah.
pulling up the record.
He went 10. He went
I
10.
just saw
Yeah, look at that.
the record.
Look at that,
Oh,
bro.
it wasn't 9-0. It was 10-0. Sorry.
Okay. All I can say about
3K,
PU
10 and
is
0. Legitimately,
why would
no. Like this is the highest value
why
you
is
can
he
get in any
managing,
tour
dude?
possible.
Why is he managing, bro? He should have
That's a
just
great question.
played.
I don't know. But like
That
legitimately,
would have been such a steal.
this is the
In
highest
like
value for any player in any tour ever. Like you cannot go lower than 3K, and you cannot get better than undefeated. So this is
Well, I
the
think
well,
highest performance.
technically you can go higher.
I'm pretty. No,
Okay, well he didn't. I think his.
I think Sino. So
I
when he
guess
was
yeah,
on
they
the
didn't.
Gibbles, Sino when he was
Yeah.
on the Gibbles, he went 11-1,
Yes.
and
Well,
he
was
was.
he 3K though? Was he
Yes,
3K?
he was. I'm pretty
Was
sure
he
Sino.
actually? Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it was
not in
just
this,
still
not
three.
in this one. In the previous SCL.
Yeah,
I'm
still
like
three.
fairly sure he had like the standout tour, and he won even like finals tiebreak as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I actually would value his record. Just I mean it's 11-1 versus 10-0, and he also was 3K. I'm pretty sure. I'm like
That is
so
true. He also got the finished the job, so that is.
yeah. He also won exactly. He also won. So
Mm-hmm. But like
All right,
it's
and
kind of
then
weird for technical machines because like you have such a great fucking value in getting PU for if you retain PU. But I guess PU
As
wants to
far as I
manage.
know, he doesn't
You know.
like the what do you call it? He doesn't like SV right now. Like
Okay, that makes a
from
lot of sense then.
what is it, from World Cup and everything, he just thinks it's a bit too volatile. He just doesn't like it right now, and you know, I
Uh
think that like, didn't like
all
playing a
right,
huge amount. Yeah.
last team, Uncharted Terrors. We have the. This was funny because like I don't know if y'all saw this, but in their like manager sign up post, they were like, we are putting out applications for a third
Yeah,
manager
that was
to
hilarious. That
help
was
us
hilarious.
break the freaking curse. And then I was like, damn, that is funny.
Does anyone know
Uh,
who Kunal is?
no, I mean,
No.
okay,
I have
wait, hold
no
on.
idea who this guy is,
Let's
bro.
peep his reaction to his message to reaction score ratio. 84 to 601, 2019 join date. This doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joined in
I don't
2019
He's
know.
as well, which is like super recent.
He's like a
yeah.
doubles guy, I think. Yeah, I think he's a
He used to be
doubles
Shade
guy.
Kirby. Does that ring any bells? Shade Kirby.
No,
No.
that just not.
Yeah.
Okay,
All I
Anyone in
know
well,
is that he's a doubles guy. Yeah.
that is that.
anyone in the comments can
Okay,
enlighten us who Kunal is, we would appreciate it.
yeah, I got no clue. Back to kind of the RU talk though. So we already kind of mentioned a little bit about the people who will be coming back. McMeghan, according to Fiend's insider trading information. That's pretty cool. We got to assume Franklin's coming back. Got to assume Rob Jr. Same old, same old. Um,
I think Rob Jr. didn't sign for you. I think he locked himself out, but I can confirm now.
Wait, he
oh,
Oh,
did
locked
he?
you out?
100%.
Really?
No way. No way.
Someone
Let me
double
check.
check that. Someone because that's like outlandish information if that's true.
No, no
I
way.
think I
Ampha
think
is bullshitting.
no.
Let
Ampha
me
is
check.
bullshitting.
Let me
Yeah,
check.
he's
How did
he not played is none, idiot.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Okay. So
He
yeah,
he
Rob
was like
Jr. He
passing his
is RU legal,
information.
which is what you would expect.
Me,
Um,
Yeah,
but with
I
that,
talked to him as well. I think he's gonna argue as well.
That's three people that we're just like assuming are locks. But that leaves a ton of turnover space. Depending, I mean, if like Stretch signs up, if Lime signs up, if Fogbound does end up playing RU, like these guys have the potential to just slot back in. But right now they're like question marks. So I'm going to treat them, or we're just going to treat them like they're not playing this
Oh
tier.
yeah, Stretch didn't sign up yet, huh?
Yeah, he also didn't
he,
sign up. I tried to
he's being
draft him for
retained,
mock
bro.
yesterday, and he didn't sign up. And I was like, "What's going on?
Nah,
Like, what are we
he's
doing
being retained.
here? What's
He didn't
happening?"
sign up because he's being retained.
Yeah, but you still have to like sign up.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you have to.
but the deadline is like is in like 5 days, right? He will sign up like the last day before or something like that.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Last day for retains is the 29th.
All right.
Wait,
So yeah,
what day?
5 days.
29th. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
That's
But
5 days. 5 days.
as for what people were telling me, Terrace will probably retain either of Elias or Loki fan.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean
probably
that's cool,
Loki
but
fan
also
or
not why we're here
KP.
today. So we're gonna keep it pushing.
Yeah, just
Let's talk about
pushing.
RU this year. We've had, and I guess the tail end of last year, we had the like a summer seasonal and like circuit tour, um, at the end of last year. So with let's say like 4 to 5 RU slots kind of open floating in the air, there's a lot of room for people to try and kind of make a breakout onto the scene. So I pulled up a bunch of like the circuit tours we've had this year, some of the RU team tours, RUPL, lower tier World Cup, where RU played a pretty big part in that, and as well as the circuit sheet we have right now. There are a few names here that are pretty standout as far as kind of being new and also doing like quite well this year. Specifically, I want to mention LBN, want to mention Daharan, I want to mention Flabeauf, mostly because they've won stuff. LBN was the winner of the RU Winter Seasonal, which is very good. This is the like first big tour RU has every year. It's double elimination, best of three Scarlet Violet RU. It's a incredibly outdated meta at this point, but winning it is winning it. What do y'all think about LBN? Because I mean, it wasn't just the winter seasonal. I think he had a pretty good RUPL too, right?
Check his RPL record.
I
It's
don't
high.
remember anything noteworthy in RUPL.
Yeah, he went 5-2. He was on a
Oh, okay.
Oh, not bad.
he was on a really
That's
bad
good.
team. The photosynthesizers were floundering, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
got some
pretty
good
good.
wins. One versus ZS, one versus Lime, uh, loss versus Feen, W Passion, loss versus HAK, win versus Gum, win versus TK. I mean, it's a decent pool. It's a decent pool.
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
think about
That's
LBN?
pretty good.
I think he's fine, but it really depends if he wants to RU or Ubers, really. I
Uh,
know he can play either of them.
if he starts, he's playing RU for sure because Uber is like he was on the bench for the Voyagers. I don't think he's gonna like unless he's sort of put in there. I My opinion is that I know he's probably PMing a couple of managers. I think he's
Yeah.
had decent results in SV, but I think the way I see it right now is I don't know if I would start him. I think he's a little bit eccentric. I actually would like in terms of like the builder, like and I think my
He's a
personal
bit of
opinion
a
is
crack. Yeah, he's a bit of a crack
I think
builder.
he should start his first tour on the bench. He should get
Yes.
drafted. He's a good all-purpose sub because he plays basically like most tiers anyway at a competent level. He's a good lower tier sub. The thing is when you have like a cracked builder, right? Like either it works out spectacularly for you or you have a real danger of flopping. And I think that actually, but what happens is when you give creative insights to your like main slot, it's actually quite good. So I don't know. He can start. I think what would be better though for his personal progression is for him to get drafted, start on the bench right now, and maybe either he gets thrown in the middle of the tournament, depending on how the lineup shuffles, or if needed, basically like I think he would also just be a great support for like multiple tiers. Because I think
Mhm.
the first tournament whenever you start like I don't know how he deals with nerves, but nerves kind of get to almost anyone, unless you're like
I agree with
ADR.
that. I agree with that. Hard agree
Um,
with whatever Rabbit said.
I think it's always
Especially in
nice.
officials, nerves are big, very big.
Yeah, I think when you get the whole kind of vibe of the actual like team tour, like then like in the next one, okay, what to kind of expect when you start. When you're sort of thrown in the deep end, it normally doesn't work. And at the same time, and I think it shouldn't be taken against too many people if it doesn't work. But having said that, I think it would be better for him to get drafted, but then basically start on the bench and then see where it goes from there.
All right.
Mhm.
Feen, Ampha,
Okay.
anything to add on the LBN topic?
No, actually, he covered most
Yeah.
of the things.
Yep. Rabbit
All right.
covered everything.
All right. I will say too. A couple closing remarks. Then he had the winter seasonal. He also had RU ladder tour. He did I think he made what round three. I don't know what 95 points is. It's like round three or round four, something like that. And I think he also went 4-0 in lower tier World Cup, which is the most recent.
Oh yeah, in
Yeah,
a pretty competitive pool as
yeah. This is a
well.
very good pool. This is, I think,
Yeah,
the second most
uh,
competitive pool in the tour.
yeah, I
Maybe
was
number
gonna
one.
say that.
And he went,
It's either one or two.
yeah, and he swept,
Mm.
and he swept in. You know, I'm
If
like
only he
pretty.
didn't quit me. If only he didn't quit me. But anyways,
Yeah. But he like
Yeah, yeah. To be
he
fair
brought a
to the
lot of
start,
different stuff, and this is some of the this plays into what you were saying, Rabbit, about and you too, Fiend, about him just like bringing crack. This is one of the cases where his crack like worked out. Like he brought random nonsense to a lot of his games, and then it like worked, which was
I mean, my game versus him was Specs Neumann versus Specs Neumann. What are the odds of that?
yeah, like, you don't really see that a ton. But yeah, that's like the kind of offbeat, off meta stuff that he be bringing. Um,
could I also mention one thing? Like, when are tier shifts meant to happen as well for RU? Because
In
uh,
October,
yeah,
Yeah,
October.
when
We have like a month
unlocking.
left. It'll be
yeah,
like a month
because
of
yeah,
old meta.
what I would
Yeah,
say is that like when tier shifts happen as well, right? Like sometimes it really favors some people, sometimes it doesn't.
I
And with
agree.
LBO, right?
Yeah,
Like thing
this
is that
happened
it's a
in
bit of a risk as
PU
well,
last
right?
year.
Like if he sort of like sometimes just the tier like I've actually experienced this myself, right? Like sometimes the tier shifts happen, it just favors some people with how they build and how they kind of like how it works. Basically, like there's some defensive options you really like, and then you basically kind of can get more creative. Sometimes you it becomes a bit harder. So when you have a builder who's a bit flavorful, right? Like what there's potential like to do either really well, but also there's a flop potential there. So there's a bit of a risk that way because you are gonna have if the tier shifts are seismic and there are like key mons lost or key mons gained, which changes the tier quite a bit. I don't know what exactly if we're expecting, but if something like Metagross comes down to RU, for example, just for instance, it's gonna change the tier completely. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that's another thing to consider as well.
yeah, absolutely. Would you say that's like more beneficial or like detrimental to someone
The
who's like
problem is
on the
it
more
can work
creative side?
either way, actually. That's what I'm saying. That
Yeah,
it's hard to predict because if you have a real pulse on the metagame, you sometimes it means that you're like you're amazing. Like it works really beneficially for you. But otherwise, if you lose like a mon you use a lot, right? Then it becomes a bit tricky. Like for example, like I use Slitherwing quite a bit. When Slither left, a lot of my like I don't know, it becomes a bit hard to adapt. Or when when you trade off kind of things like for example, like I had to run foul play on most of my slow bros just on how I build, but then I opened myself up a lot to getting swept by other slow bros. But then I realized other teams were just not using foul play slow bro and letting themselves get opened up to Gera. So it's a bit like tiki taka, basically, kind of that way. I think it depends on what the shifts are and how you build. So it can be either. So that it's a
expected.
risk. But then when you're on the bench, right, and when you give these kind of inputs into like someone who knows kind of like how to solidly go through the whole 9 weeks, it could actually even be like a bigger boon to that person. So he
Yeah,
could offer a huge amount of insight from the bench during the tier shifts because just having that creative angle, even if you don't take everything on board, having that input itself or people pointing things out to you is also kind of quite crucial. So yeah, having said that, I think it can depend. So it's a bit of a risk to start and to keep him in. I think he deserves it. But I think personally, I would say that I think maybe it would be better to keep him on the bench at least to start with, and maybe then in between, depending on how it goes. If a slot struggles, he should be kind of thrown in there and then see. Because also, what happens is when you start, there's a huge expectation on your shoulders, and no matter what people say, there are nerves that are going to play into fact. But when you're thrown to sub in, right? There's nerves, but there's less so because not everyone's looking at you as closely in the beginning of the season as they are in mid-season. So I think it would be personally beneficial if the managers also were to kind of take that attitude. But yeah, I think he deserves to be drafted either way, 100%. And if he
sure.
does start, we can expect definitely some amounts of wins from him.
Yeah. All right. We can move on from LBN then. That was just want to spend a little time talking about him. He is a name that I haven't seen. Like we've talked the RU Discord in and of itself just like talks about SCL from time to time. And LBN is not a name that I see thrown out a lot. This next name that we're going to talk about, Flabeauf, he gets brought up more than LBN, which is for good reason. He was a finalist in the RU Open, but it's like LBN had a great year leading the circuit sheet, so just want to give him a little bit of time in the sun. Um, and yeah, we can move on to that guy I just mentioned, Flabeauf, number 6 on the sheet right now. And also, I might just throw Daharan in with them too, mostly because they are part of the what I like to call the French brain trust.
French.
Um,
Racist.
there's a big French presence in RU. There's a lot of French people, a lot of good French people too. Daharan and Flabeauf specifically have been hitting stride this year. They've put up some really great results. Daha, you can see from the point spread, he had a pretty good run in winter seasonal, but specifically RU Ladder Tour, he was the winner of that this year. So that puts him along with some solid showings in the other tours in second place right now. And then Flabeauf, his big claim to fame is where is it?
finalist in RU Open.
Yeah, well, here's RU Ladder Tour, won by Daharan. Um, and yeah, RU Open? This is round 6, so I did want to just include a couple more names just for reference. But yeah, the finals was soulwind versus Flabeauf. Soulwind won, and Flab was second. So what do y'all think about the Frenchmen? They are very new. Like I don't remember much of anything they did last year. I'm being quite honest. But this year they've been making some big waves. Thoughts?
Um, I guess I can start about Daharan. Look, he definitely is a big up and comer to RU right now, but I still feel like he's a bit too green. That's
Okay.
all I have to say. Do you
Okay.
want me to
He's just
elaborate
not
or no?
doesn't have a big enough sample
Yeah.
size maybe. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I just
sure.
yeah, just not enough sample size. Like, um, I think his biggest accomplishment was the recent one, right? Other than that, he was like pretty late rounds in seasonals, and like I think he was in the Swiss playoffs last year as well.
Yeah,
But
he beat Franklin, I think.
again, yes, he was the Franklin Slayer, yeah. But other than that,
I
I
think he
still like
also
every time I played against him,
won
I felt like I
participation.
was always in control.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I feel like he's a bit too green.
All right. What about
But yeah,
Flab?
he could
You
should have
could
stopped
make the
because I
same
never teamed
argument
up
with
with
him.
him.
You can make the same argument with Flab then. I
Flab,
mean,
Flab. All I can say is look at April of our last year in SCL.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Flab actually knows how to build, so I would rate him higher. And I'm extremely impressed by his RU Open run. But yeah, I think he deserves to get drafted, but I wouldn't put him very high on the priority list.
Okay.
Just because like you have people who make a splash in Grand Slam, and just because you draft them, because again, individual and team tour are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
have
think I'd
something
agree with you. I
different
mean, both of them
mindset,
are
team building.
they're both
Yeah,
strong. They
That's
have
in my
very strong
opinion.
showings
Yeah.
this year, but maybe the sample size isn't the biggest. Some of the other like sub four MPLs I've seen them in, like RUPL for example. I don't think.
What was his record?
Yeah, he
one
went
one.
1-1. He was a sub on the pranksters. I mean, Rabbit, you managed him and Daharan, I think, right? Both of
Yes,
them were
I
pranksters.
did. Yeah, yeah. We bought the French core. We bought Mind Knight as well, and I feel like we bought one more, but I don't remember.
I mean,
I
what
think
are your
so.
kind of thoughts on them then? Yeah, both as players, builders, just support, whatever.
So the thing is that, so to be perfectly honest, Daharan, so I think I'm not sure if he was the most active on our team. I think Flab was though. I know I actually remember Flap because he tried out for last year's RUGL, funnily enough, and that's actually where he started. I think Flab is he's a decent builder. Actually, he's a good builder. He's a competent builder. I think he's also quite aggressive. I played some test games versus him. I remember for like LT World Cup when I was like kind of toward the tail end when I needed to give a shit a little bit more. He's good. I think that he kind of knows what's good. I kind of agree with Fiend that he's a little bit too new, and I think he's a bit too new to start. But overall, I think actually he's like with the current trajectory in which he's going, right? I think he should hopefully qualify for circuit playoffs. Then next RUPL, he definitely should be like a full-time starter. He's definitely merited it. Along with the other RU tours, I think like the overall kind of opinion I get from Flab is that he's quite good. It's gonna be a bit of a tall task to ask him to start SCL, and I think
Exactly.
yeah, more than anything, like you know, the age is a bit of a thing because if I remember correctly, Flab is still a teenager, and
Yeah, he's a
nerves are gonna
baby.
get to him.
He's part of the
Like
Zoomer. He's part of the Zoomers of RU.
yeah, he's a zoomer. I think he's still a teenager. Like he's gonna get nervous, like in to start SCL. I think again, it's nice if he kind of if he were in a team tour environment, gets to know kind of how it works. I think that I realized also that his building philosophy was quite different than Ajna's, for example, on the pranksters. But at the same time, I think that Feli, me, and Ajna kind of valued him saying what he said because it was giving a different perspective basically than what we were. Because otherwise, it was like me, Feli, Floss, and Ajna when we were throwing around ideas, and then sometimes you would get a little bit in our own head. And I think just having that outside perspective was good. I
Could you
think
give an example? Because I'm
yeah,
curious how that.
it's like I think if I remember correctly, it's like for example when Ajna was spamming like Blissey Fat, right?
Yeah.
There were things like for example that like Flab would basically kind of point us to like I don't know like more kind of unexpected matchups or unexpected sets basically like I remember he was bringing like Golurk Spike Stack basically like when we were playing and he was actually like he was playing the stack versus stack war versus Ajna like quite well. I think then, or for example, like I remember there was like a team which I think I built, and he pointed out pretty smartly basically that there was like a huge weakness, and that like if the Reuni could like if the Reuni had like a specific kind of set or something like that, like my team
Yeah.
had no real way of dealing with it. So it's like those kind of things which are like I don't know. Rayoni is not a mon that like is used quite a bit actually. It's it's sparingly used because of it's not amazing. It's an okay mon, but then when you have these kind of like insights or things like that, it's useful basically I think for the team. Or it's like, for example, I always greed and run Sludge Bomb Gengar, but then like you need to also be reminded sometimes that Chestnut is a mon, and that
Mhm.
guy is completely walls Gengar because of bulletproof things like that. I mean, it's just that when you have some people who prioritize different mons in the builder that you think are not as good, but they actually so manage to use them to some effect. I think that's useful to know and have. So I think Flab, and in general, actually, I also would say that Flab plays quite aggressively. I think he's not super aggressive where he's just a clicker, but at the same time, I think having that advantage is also good. He knows when to pull the trigger. Like sometimes he's a bit too quick to, but overall, like I think he's good. I think he does. I would like him to be a sub on a team, just to kind of get the flavor of the environment. But I think maybe it may be a little bit too soon for him definitely to start. But I think long term he will eventually become like an RU mainstay, a little bit like
Especially if he gets up, yeah. Especially if he gets up.
yeah. I think he reminds me a little bit of like early days Metallica in the sense that like he's kind of starting. People are starting to notice him. He's starting to actually accrue results.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
having his own brand. He's playing aggressively, and I think that eventually it'll pay dividends. Whether it's this tour or not, that's something the managers need to probably think about. But yeah, overall, I see big things for him. I haven't talked a lot about Daharan. He was a bit quiet, but I think that Feli and I, when we played him on ladder, we were quite impressed actually by sometimes the way he would play. But then ladder is different than tournament play. I think he made a few silly mistakes. I think it'd be a bit too soon for Daharan to get drafted. I think
Yeah.
he needs to kind of continue where he is. He's gotten some good results. He's won obviously the ladder tour, and I think that over time he will eventually kind of be he has the potential biscuit, let's put it that way. He's just a little bit too new to the whole scene basically. And I think he sometimes in end games makes a few too many silly mistakes basically for me to be completely confident. I also think that both of these guys may need to start stretching out and branching into other tiers because if they the way I say always to get drafted is even if you're like an RU main, you need to kind of like be able to know how to
Other
give
tiers as
input
well.
to almost
Yeah.
every tier, because that's what people kind of really value, like more than like just scouting, basically like being able to smartly test, being able to kind of give input to various tiers, having good attitude. That's how you get drafted. So I think I'm hoping also that both of them branch out in the coming year, like this, and continue on the trajectory. And then like next year, the conversation will be very different. We'll be talking about maybe how they should be starting, or at least how they should almost surely be drafted. But yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
maybe they can maybe one of them can maybe start and maybe pull a line like last year.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna
Yeah,
mention that. You like some of the you were saying about like specifically Flab being offensive, being a good builder. And that gives you shades of Lime. I mean, last year and really
Yeah.
throughout most of his like success in the past year, Lime has been I don't want to say like a one trick, but he has definitely been primarily like an offense guy. Like he'll bring different offenses, but it's always some sort of oh let me just get gas, and he's had great results with all that. So I mean,
yeah, but I actually think so. Lime, I treat differently than these guys in the sense that like I actually last year I think me and Beraldo were really high on Lime actually starting. He was the only new person I actually believed should definitely like get drafted and even start basically in SCL. The thing is that like Lime I agree he uses like offense and everything like that, but the main thing about him was that he wasn't afraid to pull triggers. He wasn't afraid to kind of bring the cheese when he needed to. But the other thing is
Yeah.
also that when he was bringing cheese, right, he was bringing like really well thought out kind of like mons and cores. And the
yeah,
other thing I realized was that like the teams he was using in SCL, which they won to like really great effect, was because also the meta kind of benefited him in the sense that they were like kind of these bullshit like mons with like flimsy cores. Like he would just bring Rachi, Fall Canyon, Horo like every other game,
Yeah.
something like that. But then he kind of thrived on that, right? Like he thrived on the mental game 50-50s. That's the kind of player he is. I think,
Yeah.
you know, if funnily enough, if Lime, for example, were to have to start in SSRU, I don't think he would have the same results.
No.
I think I think
Yeah.
it's this, the way in which this meta benefits him a lot. In general, when he brings offense, he's a great player, and as I said, he's not afraid to kind of pull triggers and do things like that. But I think that's sort of why I believed last year that because of how I saw him play, where it's just basically almost sometimes unfun to play him, like in a respectful way. It's not fun to play a guy who's gonna like click
He's
aggressively,
yeah,
going to
he's just gonna bullshit. Yeah.
go for the
Yeah, I mean,
speed dash
I
every
will
time.
say, like Lime, this guy, like you said, he be doing whatever he wants with like offenses and
Yeah,
like during ladder tour. I remember he was leading with like HO lead
Aggressive
sand
terrain.
slash regular,
yeah,
like regular sand slash, and just like getting rocks and spikes and spinning and stuff, and it was like working. He got like I think the highest elo in RU ladder tour, which was with sand slash, bro. That's crazy.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
It's also like, for example, I remember there was a game with was it Rob Jr. right in
yeah,
semis of SCL, and it was like it was a Horo Gyarados like a mirror, and the first turn it was like Gyarados versus Gyarados, like they both led with Scarf Gyarados, and I remember Lime U-turned on that speed tie.
yeah, literally this.
He won the time he U-turned and Rob Bravebirded, but that's like that kind
Yeah,
of like
that's such
bullshit play.
a
It's like
bullshit play,
yeah,
bro.
but
Wait, wait, hold on, hold on,
you
hold
hate
on. This
playing
next
that,
turn
like
is epic. This next turn is epic. Rachi on Rachi. You think it's Rod? Wait, no, no, no. Volcanion, right? This turn is epic.
yeah,
And then it's actually just Horo, and then it
yeah.
actually
That's the
falls
thing, right?
through.
This kind of
Anyway,
like so you know,
yeah, stuff like
I
that. Pulling
remember.
the trigger, knowing when to be aggressive, definitely
Yeah,
Lime's strong suit. But again, that's something I think Flab has also kind of
yeah.
figured out.
Flab is definitely yeah, but I still think that it's a bit like he's a bit new. I think Lime really benefit like Flab pull the triggers a lot, but then I also, for example, the way in which he doesn't cheese a huge amount, like which
Hmm.
actually goes to his detriment because the one thing I feel like with Lime is because that like cheese is in the back of his pocket and he knows like how to like pilot it almost perfectly. You're always worried about like not losing to it, but then if you make concessions in your build and then when he loads up with like an actual team, and you're like, oh shit, okay, what exactly is going on here? It's almost like when you play HJK and the guy will like have some nasty ass stall like maybe like freaking Gen 7 he has Wallaby stall like you have to like or not
Bloody?
was it Gen
Yeah.
No,
6
no
or Gen
way.
6 Wallaby or there was one of the gens I think Gen 6 he had like Wallaby stall or Gen 7 maybe or Gen 8
He likes
I remember
stall. I
them
wouldn't. I
two.
wouldn't be surprised
I,
if it
I,
was
I
Gen
mean,
six.
my Mandy Buzz is in Gen 7, so it's definitely one of the two.
I
Yeah.
mean, Gen 7 has Mandibuzz, but I think like Gen 8 or Gen 6, one of the two. I remember there's like this Wallaby stall, but like he'll just use whatever basically, but like stall. But like that that's like sitting in his back pocket, and if you bring a team that's like has like a somewhat weak matchup to like a random stall, he's gonna win that game. Those are like
Yeah.
that's kind of annoying to have that factor in the builder. Flab doesn't have that I think yet. He doesn't cheese enough, which is fair. I mean, like cheese is like use it for some people know how to really use that to their advantage. So I think just kind of for that reason, right? Like it's simpler to look at Flab, Scout, and then kind of come up with a team against that. It's a little less simple for Lime, and so for that reason, I think he should, be on the bench. He's good enough to sub in basically whenever, but I think starting maybe a little bit of a reach. But he'll get there very soon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Those are kind of the three names I wanted to highlight specifically. Is there anyone else you see on this kind of top 16 of circuit that you think deserves a little bit of like special mention right now?
Well, I guess Ampha,
When are we
since
getting
he's in
when
Fall
are we getting
Guard.
SCL's house? That's what I want to hear. When are we getting SCL's house?
Good one, bro.
Hopefully never. I'm joking, but like, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
But
yeah.
I mean,
but in all honesty, I've been watching. I also want to mention this guy as well, but Hoops has been doing quite consistently as of recent. I don't know.
I think I share the same sentiment as Daharan for Hoops. Hoops is good, but too new is
Hmm.
what I would say.
I mean, Hoops has also had
Yeah.
like bouts of inactivity in between. Like he quit
Oh yeah, that
RUPL.
as well. That as well. Yeah, but I think that was
Hoops is
a
like
that was
a
a in my
Hoops is like the
opinion a big
quintessential
up.
ladder hero to me. Like he's good at ladder, but I don't really he doesn't really have like an iconic standout performance beyond that,
Yeah,
which is
he's also the other thing is he's also a bit quiet, and I think that being like not vocal in your first team tour is not a good vibe, especially if you don't do well. Like,
yeah.
your contribution should extend to just beyond just having to play, or especially if Hoops were to start, he would like if Hoops were to like get drafted, he would probably be on the bench. If you're not active on the bench, basically that's not a good look for your
Yeah,
first team.
yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I just don't remember too much about Hoops. Like I don't
Yeah, he subbed in, I think,
like
but
yeah,
he
I mean
Hmm.
I don't know. This is all Hoops by the way. He Claude didn't play a single game for I don't know.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Wasn't even
it's a
in
bit.
RUPL. I don't know. Like, it's
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a
I don't
bit
I think it's
annoying.
too
Yeah.
soon. He might
Yeah.
like he's good on ladder. I played him on ladder plenty of times and he's good, but I mean that's ladder. So it's, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Then I would say Ampha as well. I mean, he played. He was at least on the bench in the Terrors last CL. Um, Variety of lower tiers as well. He can sub in. Um, and he's very active. Good. In the words I would say is good
Ampha,
punching back
if I
for lower
told you to
tiers as
sit
well.
down
A
and
little.
build an original team and go and win 5 games on ladder with it, do you think you could do that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
um, all I can say, I will only
Like
vouch Ampha if he wins his SSPL game. Otherwise, no.
Uh,
like oops,
Fiend,
you
you
did
lost
not
an SSP.
okay.
I want to hear it, bro. You threw too. It's so sad.
Shut up! Stop bullying me.
This guy
Okay.
sucks.
Sorry, bro. Also, what's your record, Ampha?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
mean we don't have
exactly,
to.
exactly.
It's not whatever.
but in honesty, I was wishing to
Wait,
play.
Ampha actually won a week. That's crazy.
I probably could have won a second one, but I kinda just play really bad.
It
Yeah.
it doesn't
The
matter
last
as of
game.
now, but yeah, I mean I agree. Ampha, you got drafted last year mainly on the bench with stretch support. I don't even know if like Stretch asked you about building. Like that guy seems to just do whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
usually Thresh really build it a lot, and me and Ambry were like around for tests and everything.
Yeah, that
Makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But yeah, a little bit of carryover. You've already had that first, like you've been on an SCL team, so that definitely is a little bit of a buff. If we're talking about people who have been on SCL teams, I mean, he's a little bit of a, you know, you know, yeah. I mean, I don't really. He is a character, but he did make finals of seasonal, and that is a lot of points. So yeah, Chad. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think he's good enough? Do you think Guldkatt's good enough to hold up on SCL again? He wasn't
No,
last
Available?
time.
no,
Really? Sign
no.
up.
Yeah, he signed up.
He signed up, but like, remember the anti shoutout post?
Yeah, listen. I mean,
Yeah.
the name is
I
infamous,
think.
but results are results.
Well, I mean, I think he would be good enough to at least bench. I mean, but I think that guy is a Golcat doesn't have the best chat presence. He's not only like extremely quiet, but as far as I can tell, apparently he didn't even like take his team's input into consideration when he wasn't doing good. So
Also recall this current RUPL where almost every one of his team members were complaining about him. So
I mean, he
yeah,
wasn't the
yeah,
worst team in the tour, but it wasn't a good showing.
yeah. I mean, it's. I don't think if he's like if you're not a great chat presence at minimum, right? I mean, I don't think that like even if you have the skills, right? Like people like they want to be able to like interact with you and like have a good like overall experience, like not a dead chat, and especially if you're not taking your teammates input, like unless you're like best player in the pool, which I don't think Golcat is. It's kind of hard to justify that attitude. So I mean,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he
he's
dropped two
good.
sets versus LBN in finals, so that in and of itself
He's
is like,
good.
okay, you're probably not
He
there.
is good enough. I think he is good enough if he really wanted to apply himself. But I don't think he, as I said, like the thing is, he also just tends to what steal teams and or ideas basically from others, and like if he doesn't have the originality, basically that's they're gonna be a bit hard throughout the whole 9 weeks to just steal things from others. Like I mean, what as far as I can tell, also like part of SCL is okay, like playing well and playing well versus your opponent, but also part of it is when you have unique ideas, bringing your own flavorful kind of take to the tier, and then basically being able to kind of like because a lot of these lower tiers, it's not just about who plays better, but also who knows the meta best and who's able to exploit basically trends in the meta in order to
Mm-hmm.
win basically. Because I mean, everyone is going to be at a competent level. Very few people are going to be making mistakes. So you want to get a good matchup or at least a positive matchup or something that kind of like throws your opponent off. That's kind
Yeah,
of how you win these tournaments. And I don't think if you're not being original, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, anyone? Well, okay, I will mention someone. Solon, he won RU Open, 500 points because of that. Epic. Do I think he's gonna play RU? Probably not. If he wanted to play
No,
RU,
he's probably gonna
absolutely.
play. He's probably gonna play Ubers or PU or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, he won the
it
Open,
depends on
and
what.
historically, the Open winner does play in SCL, but
Well, I mean, it's up to well, first of all, Solwyn will command his own kind of presence in the team chat. It will
Yeah,
mhm.
depend on what he wants to, and also what. So the thing is, managers who want to like buy Solwyn will reach out to him before. They will ask him what he wants,
absolutely.
and then after that, he will then kind of decide or command where exactly he's going to go because when he's also going to go, he's not going to build his teams. He's going to get someone else to do that for him.
Yeah, this
So
guy
I
played
mean,
two teams throughout the entirety of RU Open, and it just kept winning. It was an HO team, and it was a stall team, and that was it.
that's amazing.
Classic soul, still classic soul win, bro.
He went
That,
HO,
that's that's
stall, and HO again. Sometimes he would mix it up with stall first and then HO, but yeah,
that's amazing.
Oh damn, that's crazy.
Good respect. Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I don't know if that's the extent of his involvement, basically that he just loaded two teams, then I don't think he's extremely interested in the tier anyway. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
hard to pin down. So I could easily see him go to like the Elodine team, and then Elodine basically just decides to put him anywhere depending on the draft and give him some like support. I don't see him starting RU, to be honest. I think he could. I mean, but it's dependent on the draft because it's also could be the thing that know, I don't know. Elodine basically decides that okay, I have these easy slots covered, or maybe I need Solwind. I'll put you in RU. I'll get you this guy for support. Cool. You'll farm the pool, etc., etc. Because tour players sometimes just go randomly, so it's not far out that he would be RU, but at the same time I don't think it'll be likely.
yeah, I'm of the similar thought process. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else in the top 16 or maybe even below? I don't really know who else is. Wow, Franklin only has 280 points. That's kind of crazy. Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
he can just win a
We
seasonal or something.
true. He's on track for doing that right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyone else, or are we kind of done with the circuit sheet? And I can accept this tab.
I think we're done with this one at least.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
same.
In
It's
that
almost
case,
been an hour already.
I can move on from like some of these things too. We can go on to like the next couple tours, which are team tours. These are not part of our circuit, but RUPL is kind of the RU team tour of the year. And then also lower tier World Cup. We can talk about a little later, but yeah, if we look at the SV thing, the SV pool in RUPL, you see some names from the circuit tour, from the circuit sheet, like LBN, for example. Actually, that's like literally it's just LBN, who is like crossover between a good record in circuit and also in RUPL. Um, but like this top cut is pretty interesting. So we have Feen. Feen, you're in call. Congratulations. You are tied for most wins in the tour. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
With like five other people. Uh, and then some other names like flampoke. He had a pretty solid tour. He was your manager. Strash, obviously, great tour. But again, who knows if he's going to sign up for RU. Ajna, manager. Gum, disappeared. Fish. I don't know what Fish is doing. He's probably playing. He's probably playing PU if he signed up. But yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
from
Gum,
what
did
I
Gum sign up?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
uh,
don't think so.
No, he didn't. Okay.
I don't think
but
so.
He's also in his in this active
uh,
inactive session. So yeah.
as for Fish, I think said he's not signing up for this SCL.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, I mean, of these people, I mean, there are a couple names, Feen, and then I don't really imagine anyone in this group of like five people, who's in this group of like six people to no, yeah, five people. I don't imagine anyone in this group of five people be playing RU, or in Asmith's case, he's like a manager. Umbri's, yeah. So yeah, to me, it would just be like Fiend and then Flam, and then I guess HJK and LBN, but we already talked about him. As far as the,
HAK, did HAK even sign up?
I don't know,
I
probably not. He
I
could
don't
though.
think he signed up yet, but he can still sign up, and I think he would get drafted. Uh, in my personal opinion.
I mean, he
I
did
think
get an
so as well.
RUPL, but he hasn't really made a splash otherwise this year. But I mean,
It
yeah,
is a
we
bit.
can just talk about this. So, Rabbit, you're the, as a manager in RUPL, and someone like not on this list. I mean, what do you kind of make of this? Like, do you think this is going to have some sort of bearing on SCL at all, or is it just like, okay, we're going to look at other stuff this year?
I think it does have a bearing. I think it's so. I think because so when you're a manager in like Snake or SCL in general, right? You're looking at I guess three things. You're looking at the sort of yeah the lower tier PL what they've done. Then you're also going to look at a little bit about like how they've done in individuals. But then I think the third one, which I feel like has the biggest weighting, is that also you know if other people talk positively about the other person from other tours, that to me carries like a huge weight because at least the way, for example, I started, I had very few results to start with when I got drafted as a sub for one of the snakes. But because I had lots of kind of positive references from other people saying I was extremely active, I was kind of like building multiple tiers, I could help test multiple tiers, and I knew some people personally. That's what sort of got me you know drafted at the time.
Yeah, foot in the
So
door type thing. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. It, like managers aren't gonna, for example, go to the sheet and then like start looking at the names and start saying, oh, okay, But if someone has a good record from this, they would basically probably plug in their name with their record, and then, like for example, like this is what I would say Flampoke should do, right? Like he 5-2 is a very not good, very respectable. Even Albion as well, 5-2. They are very good, respectable records. That's something you should like plug in to the manager, saying I went, this, show a few replays and show basically your eagerness. I mean, Albion's also on the council, so it has a bearing for sure, especially if you've done well. But at the same time, like it's not that people are going to be looking at the sheet and they're going to come to you. It's just you basically kind of need to take some replays from here or take the sheet and then plug yourself basically to different managers.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about Fiend specifically as far as his starting odds? If you think they suck, tell him. I would love to hear that with him in call
Yeah,
so I can see
dude.
his reaction.
I think Fiend shouldn't start because he has a really bad he's a really because he's become like senior stuff. He's become a lot less funny. His chat
Exactly,
presence.
the enemy, bro. He's the
He's
enemy.
become he's
Bro.
become like a, he's become like a snowflake. So I think 100% he shouldn't get drafted. But on the real though, I think I think Fiend like he's had enough consistent results to definitely start right now. I mean it's not just this RUPL, but even like I remember last RUPL he went 6-1 or 5-2. I feel like it was 6-1 though, or was it like undefeated as well? I don't know. Last RUPL he did really well as well.
Yeah, I was
Um,
4-2. I was 4-2 last RPL.
4-2. He's done well in RU Snake. I think that overall, like he's been very consistent in RU team tours when he's been given the chance. I think he's obviously been long around enough that he'll contribute positively to a team chat. So I think the other thing is also that like you need to I think consider a little bit of value for money. Like Fiend to me isn't gonna like go.
I'm not gonna be expensive, dude.
I don't think
I'm
it's gonna
probably
be
gonna be
expensive.
50.
But then like if for example like when you plan drafts, right, you go for people who are like really expensive, you're often left with budget picks. If your budget pick for like 3K for example, goes 5-4-6-3, that's kind of what wins you the tour. Feen has the ceiling enough to do that. So I think that the biggest draw to me about Feen, for like being a starting slot in basically in this tour, is that it's going to give you a good value budget pick, especially if you decide to prioritize other slots that you're less sure of, and you have 3K left over, but you need someone competent enough to keep kind of starting there, who's self-sufficient also, by the way. That's another big thing. I think as a budget pick, Feeney is the best budget pick right now for this tour. Um,
Yeah.
and so I think he 100% actually like on the real deserves to start and play in this tour.
Yeah, I would say too, just like as a added benefit to this, and you touched upon this a little bit earlier with how diverse you are. Fiend, how many tours are you playing right now? How many tours are you in?
Um, Good question. Let me count.
I'm pretty sure it's double digits. It's probably double digits.
It,
This guy
it
plays
it is
everything.
it is easily double digits.
Yeah, this guy
So
plays everything. Talking about PU, talking about NU, talking about RU, talking about random old gens, random other tier. He
yeah,
plays everything.
yeah,
So as far as
that's
splashability, being able to test in different tiers, being able to
yeah.
provide input, it's
I
high.
mean, I agree.
So
I can input in like any lower tiers at this point because
yeah,
I don't know if you guys know, but I qualified for the circuit playoffs for all lower tiers last year.
yeah.
that
So I mean,
is
Did
crazy.
you?
you're going to get a good budget. You're going to get good, budget value pick
I
to
don't know,
play.
man. I don't know. Last year I got snubbed. Anyways, I'm not gonna rant.
It's fine. I mean, last year is last year. This year is this year. So
Yeah,
That's fair.
I think it's valid. We can talk a little bit about these two as well. Flampoke, HJK, Uh, honestly,
HJK
I
did
just
not
kind of
sign up,
I
so
want to talk a
I
little
mean,
bit about Flampoke, but HJK, I mean, he's good. He's really good. He's good enough to make the tour, I think, like easily. But he doesn't sign up for these things. So
he
yeah, you
doesn't
can't
sign.
play in a tour you don't
I
sign
would
up.
say it's a little bit hard to assess exactly unless he signs up.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Flampoke. Fiend, MC, what do you think about Flampoke? This is one of the more contentious figures in are you in the
so,
past year
okay,
as a
okay,
whole.
Yeah,
okay. I mean, whatever we have personally, that aside, he is an extreme workhorse, and he does build a lot of teams. He plays at a competent level as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets drafted for a sub slot.
Yeah, he had a pretty good review too. I think he was assisting the
He was
Dynamos last
assisting the
year.
Dynamos last year. Yeah, exactly. So
Now, to be fair,
I'm
their RU record was like, I mean,
it was
this is
average.
fine. This is a good record. Five or I mean,
It's
five
average.
six.
It's respectable.
Yeah, this
average.
is a
Yeah.
respectable. This is an okay record. This is respectable, and most importantly, they got it done where they needed to get it done in
Well, to
finals,
be
where
fair,
they like
that was
swept.
Feliburn joined their team in the finals. I'll say that.
No, okay,
Okay,
that
I'll
makes
say
a lot more
fine,
sense.
fine.
I don't
Listen. I'm trying to plug the guy. Okay,
Yeah,
but
Um,
I'm
yeah,
just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I mean, the thing is, has Flampoke done like other tournaments, like other tiers? Because again, I think that's gonna count a bit. If he's only done RU, that's gonna count a little bit negative. to
he
him.
plays
he did.
UMs. He plays EU a lot.
He plays ZU a lot, but like I don't know how
So
he
he
did
was
in
not in
NUPL.
UCL, so
Definitely
that's
not.
not
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Let me check if he was drafted in NUPL or
he
UPL.
is in PUPL finals right now, I think, but he also has a zero
The
two record that tour. So
Yeah,
yeah.
McMorders won, unfortunate.
Yeah,
Oh, did they?
it's a little
Okay.
bit tricky. It's a
Yeah.
bit tricky. I mean, I think, yeah, I don't know. Again, it's a little bit similar to the Daharan situation, and I think because he's a bit of a like, so the thing is actually more than anything, I'm more impressed by sometimes like how he plays because he plays sometimes quite aggressively and pulls like good triggers when he plays. And I think the 5-2 record kind of displays that. His teams are a little bit odd in times in the sense that I feel like he ignores certain resistances or just things in the builder. I also haven't seen him active very recently, so I don't know if it's gonna count
In
hugely
RU,
against
yeah,
his
I don't
team.
know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
in
He
RU,
hasn't.
yeah.
Yeah, last thing I know from RU was that he was supposed to host RU seasonals, but then he dipped. So I don't
Yeah,
know if he's
this
even
is a
playing
this is a
RU.
few months ago, right? I mean, the meta
Yeah.
Yeah.
shifted as well. So the meta
So,
shifted as well. So the fact that he's not been extremely active in RU is also not working in his favor.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
he played for US
Yeah, I
Midwest
mean,
and did one in
yeah,
green lower tier. So Yeah,
It's a bit
What
tricky. I
was
think
his
it's
what was his record in lower tier World Cup?
it's 1-3.
1-3.
Yeah,
1-3. Okay, yeah, that's not impressive.
I
I
mean,
mean
I
his
think
And
table
he.
wasn't exactly.
this was the current tier as well.
Yeah,
He,
this is
he
what the tier is right now. This is it in
had
its
had
current iteration.
diversity in the sense that um like like for sure he was like active in multiple tiers. I could see a case for him being like a definite sub slot. I think yeah, it's he did. I remember he did build or he was part of the Dynamo's squad last year. But then,
Yeah.
truth be told, I wasn't the hugest fan of the teams B he was bringing. Um,
Yeah,
it's there were it's I think maybe I would like I think he needs to again almost like diversify your portfolio, so to speak. Get a bit more involved in multiple tiers, and then I think definitely it's good
for
enough
sure.
to
You know,
sub
I,
or something like that next year.
Feen, you did kind of gloss over this, but I think it is. I mean, if we're doing a comprehensive look at these guys and what they're bringing to the table, he's a little bit of a hothead. Has had butted heads with people both in RU court and kind of just in general.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
okay though. When you have those kind of like asshole personalities on your side though, it works. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't take that against him, right? Like it's like you want those guys as allies rather than like that kind of. It's fine.
Ops. Yeah.
I mean, you would know something
I
about
mean,
that.
it's
You were on
it,
the same team as this guy, and you were beefing with him. Like, that was crazy.
I mean,
That's true as well. Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
yeah. I mean, you really want me to get into this? I don't think I should.
I
So,
mean,
Nah, it's fine. It's
let's
fine. I
just
think
touch
it's
upon it. Just want to touch upon it. But yeah, I mean
oh
that's
yeah. I mean,
it was funny. That was
I
what it
would
was.
say he does get defensive when criticized, but I don't think. I mean, if he wants to get drafted and he has to like change that, he should actually, because
Yeah,
teammates will criticize you, especially in official tour games,
yeah.
and they
Especially
can sometimes be brutal, but usually not.
yeah, it
yeah.
can be.
Yeah, it really depends on the person.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
that's kind of it for the kind of RUPL records that stood out to me. I don't know if anyone else is y'all want to talk about.
Um,
Shoutouts Metallica.
Yeah, four
I was
four,
gonna say
respectable record.
Floss as well, actually.
Did he
Floss
sign
is.
up?
Oh hell yeah! Did
Did
Has
Floss
he
he
sign
signed
up?
not
up?
sign up?
I don't
If
think
he
he
does
did.
sign up, though, I think he could definitely be an RU starter as well.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
may
he's the
not sign
pedigree,
up.
right? He was a manager
Yeah,
last
I
year, I
mean,
think.
yeah, of course. If he signs up, he's good. He's starting. So,
I mean,
but
more
he
than that,
didn't.
on his team, like being on his team in RUPL, I love like having Floss. Like even if he didn't play that many games, I think he was a really great presence. He's
Oh
very
yeah, with
creative.
those stupid puns, huh? You like those?
Yeah, I love the puns actually. They were like they added a lot of like especially like seeing Felly get exasperated over them. That was like one of the highlights of the tour
Oh yeah,
for
that's
sure.
funny. That's funny.
No, I mean, you talked
Yeah,
about this before, and this definitely plays in. I think someone's draft stock. It's how much can you build culture within team chat? How much can you,
yeah, he can.
kind of.
Floss is one of the best presences. I do like him. I think that if he does sign up, I think he should also probably start RU. And again, he's a self-sufficient slot. Maybe I think I would get maybe some other person to bounce ideas off of because I think that's how he's. Because also you need to rein him in a little bit. When it comes to some of the like wild shit he likes to use, but at the same time, like I think he does have sometimes when he's motivated, he's ahead of the curve. So I think that yeah, I think he's worth it basically, and I hope he signs up if he hasn't.
True. Also, while we're here, and just one name down, 3D. I remember last year, this guy DM'd me at one point, and he was like, "Hey, you should pass me some teams. I want to play and get ready for SVRU. I'm playing an SCL." And then that was just a lie. But who knows? Maybe he'll do that this year.
Well, I think yeah. So for 3D, the thing is that because his like, I mean, I don't know what happened. I think last year he wanted to kind of like nail down his starter position, but then after the year he's had, I mean, this guy he could be in a lower tier, but I think I have a feeling that he may also just lead the OU line because
Yeah,
what he
yeah.
was
Because I think
like
he had a very good OU.
he had a crazy SPL record. I do remember that he was even like chosen to play finals tiebreak,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
is
yeah.
pretty insane. He went to semis of official Smog tour. I think he definitely went to semis of that. I don't know if he's qualified for OLT yet, but I think no, I think his OU stuff is insane. I think
Yeah.
he could RU, but I have a feeling at the same time I think he would OU. I mean, again, this is a slot where you can throw in RU, you can throw in OU. He was also really nice on our team. He had a very good tour. I mean, he was 4-2, but I remember the last game, he was hacked pretty badly. He should have been 5-1. Um, played really quite well. Over the whole set, was actually also pretty decently motivated. So I think he can definitely start RU with support. I did like him quite a bit on the team, and he was. This is the I mean, value for 3K was insane. But I have a feeling that he will be picked to OU, and he can go to like any number of teams. He's just a good teammate. So yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I think that's it. I don't really see. Shout out to Metallica again. I mean, this guy jack of all trades, everything. Wants to start RU.
Yeah,
Can.
yeah.
But
I don't know if he's gonna start RU, but he's definitely gonna get bought for and start in some tier. I don't know
yeah, I
which
mean, you
though.
could, and that's the key word there. Some tier. I don't know what that tier is, but it's somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, other than LC and doubles and maybe Ubers, even Ubers, hell, he can start in Ubers as well.
No, bro,
Maybe
I've
not
seen it.
even
I've
in
seen this guy play
LC.
Ubers. I've seen this guy play Ubers before. He can play everything.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just LC and doubles, which are like, I mean, all the rest of the 8 tiers he can like any 8 of the slots he can slot into. So yeah,
True.
exactly. Jack of
Shout
all
out to
trades.
Metallica. If you play RU, welcome back to RU, brother. Anyway, RUPL. This is RU Open. We kind of already covered this already. Soulwind, Flabeauf for the finalists. I just pulled up like this is round 6, I think, round 7. Just for a few more names. I mean, we have Sufis, we have AJ Shiba, Esteban, just Franco. I don't really want to say any of these names would be kind of RU starters though. Like I'm pretty
No.
sure like Franco and Esteban are going to be playing other tiers. AJ, I don't know what AJ's doing. I imagine
AJ
not
could be a
playing RU
sub.
though. Shiba's
I
definitely
don't
not
think.
playing RU.
Yeah, I mean Carter could be a sub actually as well. I think he's improved quite a bit over this year.
Yeah,
Um, Sufis also is probably likely to be a sub for multiple tiers, or may play PU, but it's hard to kind of gauge.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Um,
the only other person to me that I actually would say potentially as a name you throw out is actually the host of this call, Ming.
Oh yeah.
And I think so. I
Wait,
think
hold
that
up. We can actually we can jump into that
Sorry,
because we're in
sorry,
lower tier
sorry.
now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um.
Yeah, he has the 4-0 just to flex himself, huh?
Okay. Listen. I wasn't just gonna say so in lower tier World Cup, which is the most recent kind of quote unquote team tour that included SVRU. This is also post shifts. This is the only team for post shifts that we have. Um, there are a few people that happen to go undefeated in their RU pool. If you scroll all the
yeah,
way
yeah,
down, I think you can see Lime 4-0. Like, you expect that. That's Lime. He's the GOAT. LBN 4-0. We talked about that already. 8 Truck. I had no clue who this guy was. And this was like a decent pool. And he like destroyed them. So
Yeah, yeah, that was so impressive.
yeah, this was hella impressive. And then, oh hey, look at who that is. Yeah, big 4-0.
yeah. So I think this is where also I'd say the diversity of the portfolio works in the sense that you've been actively involved in like multiple lower tier PLs. So I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
also like at least
No,
what.
no, he was only involved in the older gens, so I don't know.
Well, no,
Feen, go look at my
NUPL.
NUPL record. Go look at that. Go look that up. Tell me what it is.
I actually don't know.
You
I
should go
know he
look it
lost
up.
finals though,
I'll tell you,
so
it's pretty good.
that was kind of shit though.
Is
He
it?
lost finals. Screw it. But
Mm,
anyway,
That is
My
true. No, wait,
my
that's so sad. I
NUPL.
also like low key sabotaged Rabbit 1 week, but he still won. But we
oh
don't need to
yeah,
talk about
yeah,
that.
you did, yeah,
We
100%.
don't need to
You
talk about
placed in
that.
the wrong team, and then I loaded the wrong team, and then Tuther was
Listen, shut
mad
the fuck
because
up.
I
It
loaded.
had the Inteleon. Inteleon won the game, like I said it would, and then
Yeah, but the
that
other
was
team
it.
had Inteleon as
Oh
well.
shit, Megas 4-1. Okay, yeah. I take
Check
I
my check
refresh.
my.
Whose team were you in?
I
The team
was
that
on
won.
the villain. No, I was on the
Team that
villain.
won, yeah, the Talon Flames. So I think Ming
Yeah.
has enough lower tier diversity to 100% be a sub. And I
Yeah.
think exactly like he's gonna provide
Check
the ability to,
thing check right on the top.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
I think yeah,
Oh, nice.
Yes. So Ming should 100% be bought. He's just also gonna carry the team chat active activity. Um, Even if he like criticizes you for losing after your game, like don't take it personally. That's just how he is. 2 seconds after you
Okay.
lose, he's gonna point out why you choked, but that's fine. It's okay.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I know. I dealt with that yesterday.
Yeah, you
He's
suck,
fine.
Fiend. Play better. Why did you lose this week? No.
Yeah. But I think so. I think that's covered basically as far as I can tell who what this pool kind of should shape up. We may see random tournament players thrown in as well, but I hope that's reduced and we get more RU community starters. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe we see a truck start. I mean, this is kind of this was the performance of the tour to me. This was crazy. I don't understand
Sure, but
how this happened.
I don't think that's SCL worthy.
I mean, it's one tournament though, so if this guy becomes the next like RU goat or something, fair enough.
Okay, see, that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, and this is what you were talking about, like tier diversity. He doesn't play RU. This is an Uber's main. And he's like a pretty good Uber's main. I think at that.
Okay,
Um,
fair enough. Yeah, so I mean, he may get drafted to be again a sub, which is cool.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I would, you know,
Oh,
Guille,
yeah,
he has had a hard year. This has not been Guille's year. However, if you you roll back the clock to the latter end of 2024, this guy was freaking unstoppable, bro. He won like okay, well, one he beat me in the RU Summer seasonal finals. Uh, yeah, he beat me in 6 games. That was a hell of a series. Um, then he won RU Cup. He qualified for circuit tournament, and he made it to finals where
yeah.
he played Frank, and I think then he lost.
All
And
I
like
can say, he went to finals because of a fucking coin flip. Yes, I'm still salty about losing the speed tie.
he also 6-0'd you with a Cleveland feed. Like I don't. What the
Okay,
fuck?
that was RU Cup. That's like 5 minutes ago.
Wait, was that
Yeah,
when
but
he
he
brought that SD and Mega crap?
Oh yeah, exactly. I could have won
yeah,
if
but
I
he
had
led off with
Mongol
the
Fiat Mega.
Cleavor, and then he killed 6 Mons. Like, what do you want? Like, what are you supposed to say to that, bro?
I mean, I don't think I could do anything against that.
But Cleaver's the goat though, dude. Don't disrespect
I
him.
mean, Guille has
I mean,
had a very good.
I won with Cleaver in Lord King World Cup, so I know.
No, true. And I mean, this is a decent record, right? I mean, 3-1. It's the second best
Yeah,
record in this
yeah.
pool. Um,
Yeah, I mean, Guy could start, but I get it's a bit of a risk as well. I mean, because I mean, more than even Lime, this guy is a bit more of a one-trick pony in the sense that you can tell he's extremely comfortable piloting like fatter teams.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if it doesn't work out, you know, it's a bit tricky.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I mean, his sample size is also probably not as big as a lot of the people we've talked about. Um,
Yeah,
like just not
Yeah,
having
because
played
I
as
mean,
many
look at his
circuit tours this year.
individuals. Yeah, look at his individuals versus like team tours, and you can see there's a difference.
Yeah, it's a little lacking. So I mean
Yeah.
that a bit of a long shot. That of the people we've talked about, I feel like this GA is probably the longest shot. I don't know if that is like a outlandish thing to say, like even more so than the young Frenchmen's or like Flam and stuff like that. But I
yeah,
mean he could. SEL is a weird time. You never really know what these managers are thinking. Some of the times, who's reaching out to them, who's like advertising for themselves. So would be interesting to see that. Scrolling down, yeah, I mean, I don't really see anyone else. I mean, these tops of the pools, like I read, probably not. Kingler is a manager. Lime is not signed up. Tetris is,
No.
nah,
I think yeah,
nah,
too soon.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's it actually. I think that is no one else really kind of stands out to me.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
cool.
I think we've kind of gone over all the people that we need to go over. Is there anyone from like last year's pool that we kind of missed and we should talk about? Rest in peace, Abriel. 1-4. Are you open winner? Tragedy.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
that's it. I don't think
Yeah.
Denal's signing up. So
No,
Also,
no,
Kush
Denal's
signed
not
up.
signing up.
What's happening for?
yeah, but
Oh,
he signed up for NU, and I don't think he's had a fun time in RU.
No, he did
Yeah,
not.
So
well,
He
yeah.
hated it, and then he was like, "I'm not playing this shit anymore.
yeah, so I think
Santera or get me out of console." So I said, "Okay."
yeah, I think he would play, and maybe that's more his speed. I would be surprised if he's
Oh,
in RU.
Charlotte.
Nah, for sure. He's back to his NU because that's what he made his name with in the first place, right? Like he was some NU
No,
god.
actually, no. He's made his name with RU.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
was it RU?
and so
Yep.
his official like he started in RU, and I think in Oris RU especially, like, he was,
The
that's
holy
where he
trifecta.
would stay. In SM he's transitioned to NU and then had like stellar records. Then Gen 8 he basically kind of semi-retired, and he kind of tried to come back for Gen 9. He first started with OU, it didn't work out for him, and he tried to pivot to RU. That also didn't really work out for him.
Well,
Um,
no,
It
it
worked
worked
out
out for
for
him
him.
really well, and then SCL happened, and then
I mean, I'm talking about officials,
yeah,
like I'm not talking about non-officials. I mean, non-officials is like he does extremely well. In
Yeah.
officials, like, because I think in World Cup he went winless. In SPL he had like he was like 0-5 or 0 something like that. And
yeah,
in SCL his overall record was like 1-8. So he's not
Yeah.
even
this Kush has not had a
Eh, and
this
I
has not had a
think
good
the
time.
one wasn't even in RU from what I remember.
Yeah, 0-2 in PU, and
Yeah. All I
then
can say is I was
the 1-4.
messing with him in Fox's chat. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Kush, did you win a game yet?" And he's like, "Did you get drafted yet?" So we were just like hitting on each other.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure also that, like, shout outs Gondra like put him in week 9 just to see whether he would go 0-9 or something like that.
Yes, 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 he did.
Yo, but
He
he
did.
He was
won, bro. Okay, to be fair, he also brought stupid HO, but sometimes you gotta. They both brought stupid HO. Actually, sometimes you just gotta do it. Gotta do it to him.
classic.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Hey, if you wanna get a win, just do it bullshit way.
What do you think the odds are B he plays this tier again?
Uh, I don't think he signed up yet.
Oh, has he not?
It,
Okay,
yeah, especially if Roro is playing RU on the Dynamos, he's like it's a very likely Dynamo pick. If
true,
Bihi doesn't go to the Dynamos, he's most likely gonna play OU on another team.
true,
Yeah,
true. I mean, 5-6 again. This is a respectable record, and he
He
got it done
started
when
out
he
all
needed to get it done.
quite badly, and then he picked it up toward the end, I think, which is also like he didn't start out well. I remember
Yeah, lost Flabeauf and lost
started
Uladin.
when
Win versus Lime, lost versus. He beat Lime twice. That's actually it's pretty interesting. Two out of these three
that's
losses
true.
were
That was
versus Bihi.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, 5-6 is not a bad record by any means at all. So I mean, but I don't think he would play RU again.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys. I mean, I don't expect to see Stretch here again. I mean, maybe, but
So Stresh also wasn't supposed to RU last time, but apparently, like, so as far as I can tell, the Terrors wanted Kushalos to start RU, but Kushalos was too expensive, so then they pivoted Stresh into RU because they had a good OU core. So Stresh
and then
could
he just
RU,
went
but
eight
this
and two.
depends on. Sorry, yeah, I mean, this depends on the draft.
Yeah.
So if um like the way in which the terrorist draft ends up going, because Stresh is going to be retained, I'm almost sure.
Oh,
So if
absolutely.
the terrors buy like a really good RU slot they're comfortable with, then Stresh will most likely OU. But if they decide to say, oh, or they get like really good cheap OU value picks, and they'll be like, okay, we'll just throw Stresh in RU again. I mean, Stresh will probably be fine anywhere.
Yeah.
mm,
Like he's basically said that he's at the mercy of Jinji. So whatever Jinji just tells him to do, he will do. So that's just dependent on the draft. He could argue again, but I think apparently he wasn't even meant to argue last time. So who knows?
That's
yeah,
so funny. And now he's part of RU Council and 8-2 record. And yeah,
Yeah,
funny how things work out sometimes. This is also Stretch though. This guy's goaded. I remember
I
back in
think
the day
that's
when
the
he was
most
a cat
important
main.
part.
I don't even know if he was a cat main. He was just like playing cat.
fun
OM.
OMs. Yeah. Fun times. All right. I
I
think we
I
have
think
covered all of our bases. Is there anyone else
I
y'all think deserves a mention? Or are we good to wrap up?
I
I
think
think
this
we
video is
could.
also too long, so I think we should probably wrap.
By the
Yeah,
way, I think Thresh has the most amount of trophies on on the OMs things since we were talking on about it.
This guy's very good at
I can,
OMs, yes. But
Yeah,
and I
that is
think
beyond the
it's
point.
given by.
This video, I think, has run its course. Everyone, thank
Mhm.
you for sitting through all of this. If you have, parts of it, if you have, which I think is more likely. Um, we'll be keeping up with SCL, just kind of talking a little bit, kind of like we did last year about the weeks, and maybe do some replay analysis and whatever. Still kind of up in the air. But yeah, thank you for watching. To my co-casters, thank you for taking like 2 hours of your day or whatever. It's like how long is this?
You're
It's an
welcome.
hour and a half.
yeah.
Thank you for taking an hour and a half of your day out of to kind of sit down and record this. Um, yeah, next time we'll see you probably will be SCL content. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.